Hello, hello. Welcome in. Let me make this public on my Facebook page, friend, and let me share it to the group. Welcome in. Happy Thursday. Woo, girl. Welcome. Here we go. Hello, hello. Welcome in. All right. All right, welcome in. I'm so sorry. I had to make sure that it's streaming correctly because for some reason on Facebook and on StreamYard, it won't stream to the public, which is so weird. So, girl, if you're catching the replay of this on YouTube, then I'm sorry, girl. Just fast forward a little bit. Okay. I think we may be good though. Oh, there we go. Okay. Hey, y'all. Give me just a second, friend. See, I don't think so because. Okay, can y'all see this? Can y'all see me? Is it public? Or is that me watching my own live? Hey, welcome in. Happy Thursday. Child, happy Thursday. Can you see me? Is somebody on this live that can see me on Facebook? If so, tap the screen. I'm going to go live here on Instagram. Hello, happy Thursday. I want your opinion. Okay? I want your opinion. I want your thoughts because y'all know it's a lot of stuff as entrepreneurs we see. We on the same social media. And I hear a lot about people want to do things like quit their jobs to make content. They want to quit their jobs to market their business on the internet. So I want your opinion on that. I want to know what you think about it. And I want to know what you think. Kara said hi, yes. Okay, girl. I was like, I couldn't tell if it was streaming. I also want to know what you think about this pressure to be an influencer. Like, are you a business owner and you got a taco truck and now you find yourself doing the day in the life and how to cook the tacos and how to flip the tacos and all of that, right? So I want to talk about that today. Welcome in. Welcome. Y'all know I'm doing this show on weekdays starting at 11 a.m. because as entrepreneurs, we got to keep it together for our audience. But it's a lot of stuff that we have to conquer behind the scenes that we can't talk about with our audience. And sometimes we can't talk about it with our friends because they don't understand. So welcome in. Welcome to the Wake Up and Conquer show. Okay. So I have a couple of hot takes I want your opinion on, and I want to talk about a couple of different scenarios because I want to see just kind of like where you stand, okay, with these scenarios. I'm trying to figure out if my video is public, why I can't share it to my group. But I guess I don't know, it's because it's on StreamYard or something. Okay, so I have a lot of people who talk about this idea of walking away from their day job, their 401k. Do you think that it's a smart move to quit your job to do social media full time? What in the world do you think? Is that a smart move? Is it a smart move to quit your job for social media. What do you think? What do you think? Is it a smart move? Does it depend on the type of content you do? Does it depend on if your business is offline too? What do you think? And have you considered this or have you done it? Y'all know me, I did it like a fool. Is this a dream of yours? Like, people are really quitting their job to do social media. Is that something that you want to do? Or is it less about you wanting to do social media and more like, hey, I just want to be able to own my own time? Because it could be that. Bank says game plan got to be on point. That's for sure. Because every time I talk about quitting my job and somebody like, oh, I want to quit my job too, I'll be like, child, don't do that. I'll be like, oh, don't do it. Don't do it. What do you think? Is quitting your job to do social media, to be a content creator, is it a smart move in 2025? Because I hear it as the goal a lot. And is it your dream? Is that something that you want to conquer? You like, baby, to hell with this day job. Hey, Steffi. Hey, y'all. Welcome in. Welcome in. We're talking about is quitting your job for social media a smart move? I want to know what you think. Is this something that you want to do? Your friends do? You saw somebody do it and it flopped? Because I did it. I did it a couple of years ago. I remember somebody telling me, and you tell me what you think about this. I remember somebody telling me, well, you don't really know how I feel to own your business because you get up and go to work every day. I remember somebody telling me that, and it stuck with me. And at the time, I was offended because I was like, what do you mean? Like, every day I get off work, I go work in it. But now that I'm full time, I get it. Because of the amount of time, dedication, strategy, you have to build your life around it. Okay. So I'm just hearing in the comments that, like Bay said, you got to have a game plan for it. Got to have a game plan for it. And I don't think it's no right or wrong answer. I think quitting your job online becomes weird when it's done to prove a point. If you got to prove to such and such and such. Okay. Okay. So that was the first question. Let's see what Steffi says. Steffi says, I think if you're already making the money and take care of everything, then yes, go ahead, but you gotta build first. You know, the thing about making the money is having a business is just so unpredictable. I was making so much money while I was working because I knew I had the security of a paycheck. It's really weird. I mean, I work differently now, but okay. And I'll continue to show the comments. So you tell me what you think. So that's the first hot take. And later on, I want to talk about this idea of having a business, but feeling like you got to be an influencer too. Because that's a thing. That's the thing. People be like, baby, I just wanted to sell cakes and cookies. I didn't know I had to turn it to TikTok Martha Stewart. Hey, Alicia. Hey, Alicia. So that was the first hot take I had, was about quitting your job to do content, to have an online business. Is that smart? So you let me know what you think in the chat. And I have a couple of different questions for you because I want to know what you're doing behind the scenes. Hey, ladies, happy Thursday. Y'all know we are in this thing every weekday at 11 o'clock. I want your opinions and your takes on some of the stuff that we are dealing with behind the scenes, girl. So I want to give you a couple of different scenarios, and I want to know, what would you rather do? Okay, and I'm looking down at my notes. Okay, I want to know, what would you rather do? Okay, so, and this could be for the ladies. Maybe it's a fella or two watching. But I'm 34 and I don't have an extended family yet. Would you rather build your family first or build your business first? Do you believe that your youth should be dedicated to building a family? Or do you think your youth should be dedicated to the craft, to the dream, to the end goal? What do you think? What do you think? Do you build the family foundation first? Buy the house, do all of the things? Or do you say, have the kids, get them situated, and you work on your business when you're putting them to bed and all of that? Or would you rather say, hey, I will go all in on my craft. I will spend my 20s going in on my craft, traveling, doing what I can, getting trained for it, blowing it up. Which would you rather do? Which would you rather do? Mm-hmm. Karen said it depends on, if we're going back to the 9 to 5 thing, I just don't want to miss your comment. She said it depends on the person and the work ethic. If the income online starts to surpass income from the 9 to 5, it makes sense. I'm the type of person to go all out. I quit my job to work for myself. Same here. It was the same for me. It was the same for me. Do you build the foundation first? Which would you rather do? Which would be ideal? Build a family in the foundation first, or spend your youth being dedicated to the craft? Ooh, girl, that's a little messy. That's a little messy, but it's okay. If you can choose, if you can do it over again, or are you in your youth and you're currently choosing? Mm. Mm-mm. Steffi said, I was supposed to have the house and everything first, but the kids came first. So now we're doing what we got to do. I feel that. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. And I feel like as a woman, this is where I feel like sometimes, hey, Shayna, I feel like sometimes this is where, and you tell me what you think about this. And this may be my pre-kids brain self where I don't understand the depth of it. But I feel like when you're the woman and you have a dream, you have a business, and then you also want the family, like you want to be mom and kids and all that. Are there times when you feel like you have to choose what to prioritize or what? Because I see women, now this is just my experience, so you tell me what you think, okay? Because every time somebody be like, how old you is, Deb? Like, how old you is? I'd be like, I'm 34. They be like, you ain't got no kids. I'd be like, no. They be like, girl, don't have none. What to God. So serious. So what is your advice? What is your experience? Putting the family and the foundation first? Putting the craft first? Because I see benefits to both. I truly do. I see benefits to getting the family foundation on out the way. And I see the benefit to dedicate to the craft. Okay. Let's go on to the next one. Okay. Stephanie said, baby, we out here doing what we got to do. And I'm here for that. I have another hot take for you. And this is the one that I posted about because I really want to know what you think about this. Okay. Is there a pressure for you to be an influencer just because you have a business? Be honest. What do you think? Is there a pressure to be an influencer? And to me, this all ties together because y'all know I work with women. And so we doing like our girls doing mom content, trying to sell a product. Like, do you feel pressure to like be like a real influencer and TikToker and content creator? Carrie said the idea will be both. I'm going to go a little biblical. I should have put my Marvin Sapp clip in here when he said, close them doors. As Ruth was fulfilling her purpose, who Boaz found her. Okay, she was fulfilling her purpose when Boaz found her. I'm not mad at that. Shayna says you have to have one priority. It's family or work. I personally worked on the business first, then had a child. I feel that. I feel that. Hey, Ty. Hey, shout out to the Conquer Club. Hey, Ty, my best friend, Ty. Hey, Zara. Is there a pressure, ladies, for you to be an influencer because you have a business? Do you find yourself trying to do content that don't even properly fit who you are because you think you have to be an influencer? Do you find yourself seeing the other girls who have a business and they like the Instagram baddie? So you're like, well, I guess I need to be an Instagram baddie too to sell something. What do you think? Steffi says to me, yes. Zara says yes. Shayna says yes, but I've learned to love quiet success that supports my family. I don't need the clout anymore. That's a bar. Amiba says, yes, I have to show you my skin and hair to make you want to buy. Okay. Oh, she meant her Boaz found her. Yeah. Because how else would they know? I keep telling myself when I do these shows, I want to hear what y'all think and what y'all are seeing on the social media streets. Because there is a general kind of like, it just be what I'm seeing. Okay, so my best friend Ty says, I get the concept and I understand the value of it, but it's just not for everyone. I love curating events and pushing products, but I'm not prioritizing content over personal connections. I feel it. Shantae says, absolutely not. The tribe will come to you. Delilah wants the website to the Conquer Club is jointheconquerclub.com. Carrie says, yes, people have to know what I do. Y'all know. Come on, Delilah. I love a good comment. She says, I think we were creating content before influencers were a thing. This is where I love these topics, and this is why I want us to get on live every weekday and talk about it. Because I don't think that there is a right or wrong way. I'm going to just keep it a book. That's what I think. I don't think that there's a right or wrong way. I think that there are many different ways that you can blow yourself up. Hey, Chloe. And I think that the idea of content for some people makes them cringe inside. And I think the idea of content for people like me makes me light up inside. And both of us can both be billionaires, okay? Like both of us can be billionaires. But I want to talk about this because I think that it's so important for women to even see like me doing content and still be okay honoring your decision not to. Honoring your decision to say, okay, that's not the way I'm going. You know what I'm saying? Delilah says if you have fun and show your authentic self, it's not hard. Trust me, you can't force a round peg in a square hole. That's a bar. And let me tell you how shady this morning I was feeling. I was going to get a clip of Marvin Sapp saying, close the doors when we get a good content. But I said, I'm not going to be like that. Because you know, it'd be church folks in my comments, child. I ain't got time. I feel this too. And I don't want to keep giving my opinion on everything because this is about y'all. So I'm going to let it go. Chloe says, I don't feel pressure to do it. I love that. I love that. Delilah says, content can be as simple as a status. You just have to remain relevant. Steffi said, this is why getting in front of the camera is not hard for me. Oh, man. Do you feel this pressure to be an influencer? How is that showing up for you? Are you putting unnecessary pressure on yourself? Or I'm going to take it a step further. Because y'all know I will go there and I will say this. Or are you hiding? I feel like there's space between being an influencer and just hiding in the corner of the internet because you think you ugly, or you don't think your stuff perfect enough, or you don't think you're good enough. So do you have to be an influencer? No, but make sure it's not because you want to hide, because your self-esteem is really shot. Like, let's just keep it a buck. Chloe says, I love the process of content making. I love being in front of the camera. I love teaching. I love it. I love it. I love it. Would I like a team at some point? Absolutely. Steffi says, them church folks be all right. Yes, we welcome the church folks, baby. We ain't got the doors locked in here. Okay. Shantae says, as a woman, we have to be confident about who we are so we can show up in authenticity. You know, that's such a good point, because even in my personal experience, I've experienced this idea of, okay, I'm a coach and I got to show up this way. And it was just all of this stupid stuff that just really wasn't me. You know, but now that I know, I give myself permission to just do what I do, then it becomes like second nature. Baby, Delilah said they hide. I'm an influencer, my friend. I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it. I'm not mad at either decision. I'm truly not. Because there are some things in business that's just truly not for me either. It's just not. So I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. And I hear we're saying influencer, but content creator. The pressure to show up. She said the topic's so good to give me the website, girl. Let me put it in down here for you, honey. Oh, I mean, it's girl. This is the website, girl. Shout out to my girls in the Conquer Club, honey. We be in that thing every Tuesday night. Okay, y'all. Okay. Steffi said, and I'm going to show up bowling for my business. Okay, that takes me to a would you rather question. So you tell me what you think about this, because we all know that this isn't the only way to make money. We know that there are a lot of things that you can do to blow your business up and make real money behind the scenes that have nothing to do with social media content. Okay. I had to even transition my mindset to say my social media complements my business that I'm doing behind closed doors, but it can't be the entirety of my business. I didn't even have to have that realization. You know what I'm saying? She said, I'll be sleep what time on Tuesday? We meet on Conquer Club Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. 7:30 p.m. So I want to know, I have a question for you, friend. First of all, are you liking the live? If you're liking the live and you're loving the new setup and the new mic on Amazon, tap the screen, girl. Especially if it's your first time tuning in. We've been here all week. And we will continue to be here every weekday at 11 a.m. CST and at noon for the East Coast girls. Business owners, I want to know, would you rather be completely unknown in your business, or would you rather be out front in the face of your business? Which would you prefer? Would you prefer to say, hey, this business make a whole lot of money and you don't know who behind it? It's just going. Or would you rather say, hey, I appreciate people knowing me. I appreciate being able to walk in the room and they say, hey, that's such and such, the owner of Deb's Bug Spray or whatever. What do you think? Would you rather be the unknown rich in Bali on a random day CEO, or would you rather be known for the world to see? Mm-mm. What do you think? I'm gonna give you a second to respond in the chat. And Delilah, I'm about to drop the link to the Conquer Club. Too. What do you think? You rather be unknown is the goal for you to build the business up and be unknown, or is for the goal for you to be known? Do you want people to be like, hey, that's such and such. She owned that company. Ooh, okay. Let me see what y'all think. I knew that y'all would be. I knew that this would be split. Delilah, I just DM'd you the link to the Conquer Club too. I knew that y'all be undecided on this, for real. Delilah says completely unknown, but I noticed face sales. Steffi says I like being out front, girl. I ain't even gonna hold you. Little people say that, but I ain't even gonna hold you. Amifa says I would love to be unknown. So you want to build up the company and get the money, but you don't want nobody to stop you in the grocery store talking about your stuff. Delilah says completely unknown, but I noticed my face sells products. So I switched gears and started selling my vibe. Oh, I feel that. So you're saying originally your goal was to be unknown, but you notice that the more you put yourself out there, the more people you know. Okay. Shantae says you got to be the face of your brand. Do you have to be? There are a lot of people that aren't. Amifa says, I want them to know the products and buy them, not me. I am not on sale. God dang. Baby, Amifa said, I am not for sale. Okay? I am not on sale, honey. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at it. Okay, a lot of y'all are saying you would rather be unknown. So if you're just tuning in to the conversation, I want to know, with your business that you have, is the goal for you to build it up and don't nobody know you own it, like you're making the money and you just rich behind the scenes? Or are you building it to where you're the face? People know you, they recognize you, they want you to come speak, they want you to, they stop you at the grocery store, they're coming to the events. What are you building for? Which one would you rather have, friend? Zara says, I want to be unknown. I'd rather get to the bag incognito. Ooh. Kara says, I would like to be unknown, but I have learned people like to connect with real people. Wow. Do y'all think it's because of this day and age? Because all, people would say, well, the big companies, you don't know who they is, and yada, yada, so. Amifa says, I be outside trying to hide with a cap on and they still be screaming my name and I'm very shy. I think it truly depends on what your goals are as an individual. Truly. Delilah said, I hate being stopped in the grocery store, baby. Pay me for this. Baby, don't be talking to me in the checkout line at Walmart. Shantae says the connections matter. I truly think that it depends on your end goal. I would never want to do Conquer if I could not be out front and be the face. No way. Nothing about this would be worth it to me. Nothing about it would be worth it to me. The money certainly wouldn't be worth it. It just wouldn't. But that's just me. But that's because of my long-term goals. My long-term goals are in media, are in speaking, are in finding community and being on stage. Those are my long-term goals. And with that comes my cash. My bad. But I definitely understand and see the girls that are like, I want my business, I want to run it, and I want my money and all that extra stuff. You can keep it. I'm here for that. I'm here for that. I'm here for that. Okay, so that brings me to another question. Let me ask you two for your business. I'm gonna give you another would you rather situation. And I've been in this situation too. Would you rather have a mentor that's been where you're trying to go, like that faceless brand or the face of their brand? Would you rather have a mentor that's where you're trying to go, or would you rather do it alone? Which one? Are you a yes, 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 mentor me, please type of business owner? You keep people around that you're learning from, drawing from, getting information from, or are you they be scamming? I don't believe everything I see. I'm going to get it, go out there and figure it out because I realize that the clarity comes in executing and understanding the real work. Elijah says, I could talk on camera all day, but once it's in person, I'm high. That's funny. Carrie says, mentor all day. Feel that. I feel that. Feel that. Steffi says, mentor, help me. And y'all, I ain't had one in a while. I hadn't gone without a coach for a long time, and I hadn't had one in a while. So I've leaned heavy on both sides. I do got my eyes on somebody though that I'm truly in love with. But I'm not interested in any type of mentorship or coaching anytime soon, to be honest. Eva says, yes, mentor, because I can go far alone, but I can go further with a mentor. That's true. Especially if now, and y'all know too, the reason why I want to talk about this is because the idea of a mentor sounds good, paying for a coach, mentor, whatever you want to call it. When I think mentor, I don't think a coach. I don't think like paying a business coach. That's not what I think when I think mentor. I think this person has been where I'm going in some capacity, and they're literally taking me under their wing. Like, okay, I do have a mentor. I'm lying. I don't have like a coach, like a paid coach, but I have a mentor. I have a mentor that's well into the multi-millions, does the events, does all the things, knows all the celebrities. She's like, hey, Deb, do this for me, or help me with this, or hey, you okay? Like, it's that type of thing. Yeah. But I also feel this idea of saying, bruh, for one, y'all getting scammed on the internet trying to get mentors so much. That is it. Honestly, if you were to use that time and energy, you probably be 10 times further ahead. That's so shady. That's so shady, but it's so real. It's so real. The time you spent downloading courses and reaching out to mentors and stuff, and you put that time into sitting at the dining room table and knocking it out, you probably could have had a little momentum. And I feel like also, when you tell me what you think about this, the ladies that may be leaning heavier towards the mentor side have likely been burnt. It's tough. I'm underpaid 2 coaches. 2. And there is not a soul that I see on social media that I would spend 2 cents on. I'm just keeping it 1,000. It ain't a soul that I follow on no platform that I would pay 2 cents of my money to coach me. It's just not. It's just not. Ty says, I love a good mentor. I'm inspired by lots of things and people, so I take what I need and do my own thing. I think that that's something worth talking about. Because even when I was building Conquer, here's my what I had to unlock about this whole mentorship coaching space. Each woman in business is so unique. And I just think that whoever you're learning from has to make space for that. When we were building Conquer, people say, oh my God, the brand is so you. Exactly. I knew that I had to have a coach, a mentor, whatever you want to call it, that say, hey, Deb, your personality, what you want, we're going to turn it into this. Don't be trying to put me in, well, sell ebooks and do that. Girl, I'm not trying to hear that. Ty said, because people do be scamming, selling basic life skills. I had to learn, baby. Okay, that's real. She said they be selling basic life skills. Imagine getting an ebook on making 100K and they tell you to get a website. No, oh my God. Imagine buying an ebook and they tell you a first thing, like, this stuff out of here, man. Be for real. Be for real. I think a good mentor sees you where you are and for who you are. And if your approach to mentorship is one size fits all, then stay the heck away from me. For real. Steffi says, I only sold one and I'm with that one. I tried someone else before, but it wasn't it. Thank you, Steffi. I love Steffi. She's in Conquer Club Plus with me. Am I contradictory because of that? I guess that's another reason why I created my own program, because I'm like the coaching offers and stuff are just, but I've had mentors in other space. So okay, let's go on to the next one. Would you rather? Okay, would you rather quit your job and figure it out if your man came to you, your mama came to you, somebody came to you and said, friend, I got you, daughter, I got you, wifey, I got you. Quit your job and figure it out. Would you rather do that or move slow and steady? Which one would you rather do? Would you take that leap of faith if your man said, hey, babe, I've been seeing you in there making them candles every night. I've been seeing you on Facebook do your little thing and stuff. Don't quit your job. Let me take care of things and you know what I'm saying? Let me give you space to figure it out. Would you rather do that, quit your job and figure it out? Or would you say, nah, I'm going to wait. I'm going to take it slow and steady. I'm going to make sure that this is absolutely 1000% going to work. Which would you rather do? Would you rather quit your job and figure it out? Especially if you had somebody that says, I'm going to give you a little space to figure it out. Or would you move slow and steady to quit later? Delilah says, I've done that. Actually, I prefer slow and steady. Which would you rather do? Baby said, Zara said, she's in this day and age, it's scary to just quit. I would rather have the support on everything else and plan it out. Wow, I feel you. It is scary to just quit. I feel that. I feel that. I feel that. What's up, Allison? Shout out to my girls inside the Conquer Club. The Conquer Club is the place to be. The Conquer Club is the place to be. If you want to get more visibility, you want to start going live, you want to do reels, you want to do more content, come to the Conquer Club. Allison says slow and steady in a scenario thinker. Steffi says, okay, so I called my husband at my job. Ooh, okay. So girls, we got to unpack this. Okay. And we gonna need a little story time on this too, Steffi. Hello, if you want a little story time on this, tap the screen. Steffi says, okay, so I called my husband at my job and asked, can I quit? And when he says, yeah, baby, she gave him the deuces and walked on up out of that thing. Ooh, baby, we're going to have to do a Conquer confession on that. because I want to hear. I want to hear what happened, girl. When them folks up there at that job pissing you, they piss you off. And then you called Bay and was like, "Bay, I'm done. I can't take another day." And he said, "It's all right, baby. Come on." That was in 2019. Wow. So that was 6 years ago. Ooh. Now, oh, baby, listen. Okay, y'all. If put story time in the comments because Steffi gonna have to give us the story time. She's gonna have to give us a concrete confession on that, which is how we're gonna do our story times. So if you have a story like Ivana yesterday, she told us that she was sleeping with a man that was her biggest hater. Today, Steffi is telling us, baby, she called Bay and was like, "I'm out of here." And he said, "F them. We need them concrete confessions. We need them story times." Ty says, "Slow and steady. I've had plenty of people support me in my business until they couldn't." Ooh, now that's a bar. "But I never left my job, so it saved me when I didn't have the bandwidth to do business." That's real. She said they could support you until they couldn't. And you know, the reality is, yeah, baby, we need a story time on this, Steffi. Because, baby, the girls might need to know the tea on what to say to the man to get him to say, "Clock out," and forget them folks. We might need the tea. Would you rather take the leap of faith and quit your job and figure it out with the support of someone? Or would you say, "Absolutely not. I'm going to move slow and steady"? I don't think, look, I can't be doing this show time. So I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I need to give my opinion on something. But I did it. I took the leap of faith. And at that time, my business was creating income that was consistent at that time, but not consistent after the fact. Let me say this, and you tell me what you think. You tell me what you think, okay? I think that there is a big pro in the slow and steady approach. You use them paychecks to do all of the things to like pay your bills and keep lights on and buy $16 eggs. And you can use it to experiment with your business. Now, let me say what I think the con of it is. It creates a level of safety. It creates a level of safety. So I have a fear that the pressure is not applied like what could be deep down in your soul because of that safety blanket. That's just me keeping it all the way 1,000 if you get a paycheck every 2 weeks. That's just me keeping it all the way 1,000. But I'm here for it. I think it's a very smart move. Very smart move. Mifa says, "When I realized I was making more than what I made in a month and a week, it was time to quit." I did this. I had a great job. I loved my job. I still love my job. I even called my job at one point and was like, "Oh, is that position open?" You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just out here just struggling. But yeah, so that didn't work out and I'm here. And it's great now. But I took a leave of absence from my job because I said, I want to know what it feels like to wake up in the morning and this feels like my only thing that I'm responsible for. And I made more money in those 2. I made about 3 months worth of my salary in 2 weeks. And then I went back to work in 2 weeks and then I put in my 2 weeks notice. I could not unsee that. I just couldn't unsee it. I couldn't unsee that. To experience it is on, you can't unsee it. Okay, Delilah said if you quit, have a plan for the plan. Found myself going back to work this past November. I mean, I only made it 10 days. And I was like, okay, that was a stupid decision, girl. Get back to your business. You ought to make money. Get your mental health together and stop playing. But it's real life. Delilah says, yes, I went back to use the check to fund, but once I leave this time, I'm not going back. That's it. That's all. Oh, that's it. That's all. She said, once I leave this time, that's it. Oh, shout out to my girls. People said, I found you before I quit, and that was the icing on the cake. Yes, girl. Did you enjoy the show? Do you enjoy the Wake Up and Conquer show? Meeting the ladies in the comments. I want your opinions because these are the type of things, yes, strategy, yes, all of the things, but this is the type of stuff that we really have to conquer behind the scenes. This is the stuff we're really probably thinking about behind the scenes, but maybe we're not talking about it. Or maybe we're talking about it with our friends. Maybe they understand, maybe they don't. But I want to give us a space to explore some of the stuff we're conquering behind the scenes, like deciding to quit your job with a 401k and benefits and a help desk to doing this ghetto stuff full time. Okay? So that's it, ladies. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Wake Up and Conquer show. If you're catching this on the replay or you're catching this live, give me a thumbs up just so I know you like it, just so I know you enjoyed it. We will be back tomorrow, Friday. It is going to be us wrapping up the very first week of the Wake Up and Conquer show. We're going to be here every freaking weekday. So all next week, we'll be back, friend, at 11 a.m. Central, noon for the East Coast girls. And tomorrow, ooh, girl, you better be ready for tomorrow because I want to hear about the amazing things that you're doing in your business. Y'all already know how we turn up every Friday. I want to know, what did you conquer? I want you to come and brag on yourself. We'll be doing that on the show tomorrow. And if you want to keep the discussion going, there's a Facebook group. So you can go to the Wake Up and Conquer group. We'll still be talking in there. If you want information on the Conquer Club, you can go to jointheconquerclub.com. And y'all already know the vibes. When you wake up tomorrow, make sure you conquer something, girl. And I'll see you on the show tomorrow. Bye, y'all. Bye, ladies.